making money and saving money regardless of inflation, how to fight against higher prices, and how to avoid classic mistakes in this economy is coming up. But first, where did inflation come from? The precursor to the modern consumer price index that we base the inflation numbers off of was published in 1919. And it was an average of 32 industrial areas. An index for the United States was picked up in 1921. Monetary policy is a major cause of the increase in inflation. What that means is when inflation rises, the Federal Reserve sets too low of an interest rate with the growth of money and supply increases too rapidly. And with that comes inflation. Stimulus. Modern inflation makes it harder for you to buy stuff. Christmas gifts are more expensive this year than they were last year. The average price of a dozen eggs in 2010 was $1.66. 5 years later, that price has dropped to $1.51. That was 2020. Now, in October 2022, it's back up again to $2.90. So it's a roller coaster, and it's really hard for families to plan around this stuff. We're all kind of exaggerating these inflation numbers. US inflation rate is about 7.75%. And that's compared to 8.2% last month and 6.2% last year. And these latest numbers that just came out kind of puts us back to where we were a year ago, around 6.2%. This is higher than the long-term average of 3.27%, but you can tell that it's not steadily going up. We're actually on a downward trend. If these inflation numbers continue to go up and reverse again, the stock market's going to overreact and drop in value. But if it continues to decline, you can expect to see stocks continue to rise. And this is an overreaction. Your goal is not to overreact as well, just like the markets are. In a kind way, share this with someone who tends to overreact when it comes to money decisions. And I'm going to help this week with some ways how not to lose money in this economy, whether inflation goes up or down. How are you going to make money during inflation? Traditionally, tangible assets, that's things like real estate, cars, commodities, equipment, as well as bonds, stocks for some specific sectors, and surprisingly cash, cold hard cash, tend to do well in inflation, especially if these assets are income producing. Now, if you have a truck for your business that you generate income off of, it's probably worth more now than it was a year or two ago, and you're getting more value out of it the more you use it. This is also true if you have a rental house. As rents go up, your income is going to continue to rise, even if the property value goes down a little bit. Inflation is eating away at your buying power. So I should just get rid of my cash? Not necessarily. You could be buying into stocks today that could continue to go down. So I should sell all my stocks. If you keep reacting to news, you're going to always be buying high and selling low. We call this catching a falling knife. Time in the market is going to be timing the market every time. Get yourself our free ebook, 5 Steps to Go from Financial Stress to Financial Success. You can get that by subscribing to the newsletter. You're going to get a short message each week helping you save money. So inflation is still up, but it's gradually trending down. So here's what I would do if I had some cash on hand. Number 1, houses. If you need a place to live, then you can always buy now and refinance later as rates continue to drop. Prices and rates are going to shrink what you can afford today compared to what you could maybe a year ago. But if you need a place to live, you need a place to live. And time in the market is going to help you in the long run. This goes for cars too. If you need a way to get to work to get from A to B, then you need a car. And now would not be the time to buy your luxury dream vehicle and put a big loan on it with a lot of high interest financing. That delayed gratification by a year or two is going to really pay off. If you're sitting on a bunch of cash waiting for the market to hit a bottom, then you're going to lose out on a lot of returns 9 out of 10 times compared to someone who invests regularly every month a consistent amount. Like and subscribe and comment for the algorithm, and it's going to give us some more questions to unpack in future videos. My vision for you is to have an ironclad plan and a community so that when you get news, inflation is up, inflation is down, stocks are up and down, the world's on fire, rates are out of control, you can say, we're good, I've got a plan, our family is going to be fine. In fact, we're going to thrive through the highs and the lows. I post every day on all the socials to get you free education to make family finances more simple. And it's year end, so click here and watch this video for your checklist for financial success in 2023.